I want to just start this role play session off by playing a little clip of a video that is a really perfect reminder of this fact that the business happens at times when our phone is ringing, at times when we can't answer it, or we should be answering it, but we don't feel like it. All these different things.
Now we go to new experts, aka realtors. So we got TexasRealtors.com, we got Ramsey rated realtors, and we're gonna pick one of the top ones. What's up, Melissa? And we're going to call Melissa and say what's up. Hey Melissa, this is Codie. If you could give me a ring back, that'd be great. I'm looking to close on a deal really, really quickly. Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Okay, let's do rule of three. Typically, realtors, I get one answer for every 3 phone calls, so we're gonna call 3 right now and see what happens. Bing, 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 bing. No answer. Okay, now we're gonna call Chris. Hi Chris, my name's Codie. I wanted to reach out to you because I need to buy some raw land in West Texas. Kind of weird, but I think we could do it. I need to close inside of 1 week, less than $10,000. If you could call me back, thanks Chris. Okay, we'll see. So left a message for him. Nobody answered me. My rule of 3 did not work for realtors in West Texas. They do say it's slower out there. We will now wait for somebody to get back to me as we dig in a little bit more to due diligence. I need to get some inspiration and start putting together a list of all the ways we can make money on this thing we're gonna buy. All right, I finally got a call back from Chris. So he left me a voicemail. Let's see what we got from our man, Chris.
Your text this morning and I'm driving to a meeting. Your best bet is to go out there and it's not gonna happen. For you guys to get out there and have a piece of property under contract, the chances of that happening are so slim to none. I'm not saying it's impossible, but every star would have to align. Give me a call when you get a chance, and if I can't answer, I'll call you back. Okay, bye.
Point here on this. This is how consumers think. Even people that are successful in business is, let me go online, let me just go what she went with, Ramsey rated and some other rankings. Let me commoditize the process. And what did she value more than those reviews? She's like, okay, I'm going to get the 3 most reviewed here. I'm going to call them. What she valued the most was speed, was time. I'm going to call 3 back to back to back. And the first person who picks up is going to be the person that I'm going to speak to. That's how I'm going to start this buying process. She wanted to buy some land within 7 days. It was all speed driven. It was nothing more than that. And the majority of consumers, this is why Zillow is so successful. The majority of customers are going to value time over everything else initially. When they have a bad experience, they're going to start valuing other things. But as people are starting their journey, and this is why over 70% of the time, the first agent they meet with, that's who they go with. So business happens on the customer's watch, whether we're on 3 hours sleep, whether we feel like picking up the phone call, whether we want to have some type of balance in our life. All those things don't matter to the customer. We just need to accept that and solve for it. How do we solve for this? So we either have to build out call infrastructure. Lee's on the ISA team, on my team. So it's like building out an ISA team. We've got VA support on ISA, or it's just maybe a full-time executive assistant, which is going to still probably leave some gaps in the calls. Or number 2, and this is what we're going to start working on right now, is just accepting this is the reality. Work-life balance in real estate does not exist. At times, we need to remind ourselves, I only got one mission here, and that's to set the appointment. So when calls come in at an inconvenient time because we wanted to have balance in our life, and we're supposed to be doing something for our family or for whatever, we need to create urgency on the call to set the appointment. Okay, so that call comes in, inconvenient time for us, but within the first sentence, let's get the top details now. Instead of letting somebody drone on and on and on, within that first sentence, hey, I'm here, I'm walking into this, I'm doing that. I want to make sure I get all of the information. I'm not in a place where I can take detailed notes. Why don't we do this? Give me the most important problem you're trying to solve or question that you have. Give me the top details, and we'll save everything else we need to go through for tomorrow at 3. Within the first sentence, I'm setting the appointment, as opposed to going through an entire call. They called you. It's an inbound call. Set the appointment in the first sentence. You know, Zillow's listened to thousands and thousands, probably at this point, maybe millions of calls. And they came up with a very simple format for this. ALM, appointment, location, motivation. There's no call when somebody's clicking on a property where they're not advising to set the appointment immediately. Now everybody is switching, obviously, to this format where they can basically pick the time that they want. So when you're having these conversations, if somebody calls in about a single house, set the appointment immediately. Do not do a buyer consult over the phone. The buyer consult, you're going to have to rerun that play when you meet them in person. Anybody you talk to on the phone, if you list off a bunch of questions, you're going to be rerunning that when you meet in person, because they are going to give you less information over the phone, having never met you, than they will face to face. And the things that are important to the process that you're trying to explain, that we're trying to get off on that call, are going to be retained at less than 50% when it's over the phone, when there's no human interaction and conversation. Location and motivation look like this. Why are they looking in that location? Is that the only location that they have to be? And are there any other properties? Those two things are only important because I'm trying to find a second home to tour with them, or a third if they're looking at one property. Even if it's my listing, I want to bring them out to another property, because the chances that I have of converting a buyer on 2 properties versus 1 dramatically goes up. Okay, if their whole mission was to see 1 property, that's what they reached out. They value speed, they value time, and I try to introduce a buyer consultation between this call and a direct ask to see 123 Main Street tonight. I have stopped what they value the most, which is speed. I have put friction into the process unnecessarily. If I'm able to get them into that appointment and a second one for comparison, what can I do over the time of 2 tours? I can start that consultation, that process, those conversations throughout those 2 tours.
Hey, Byron, talk about setting that appointment. I love that approach for a buyer. How do you handle that if you get that random call from a seller who you're looking to, I don't know, get a little bit more details? You're trying to play the whole, I'm not in a position right now to take notes and things like that. So what's your approach on like a seller call on something like that? Because it feels easy to run that play with a buyer. It's a little bit tougher, I feel like, with a seller, no?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let's role play it out. Give me the call, and then I'll be the agent here, and we'll just role play it out and see what happens.
Ring, ring.
Hi, this is Byron.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? Tom Worley. Live in Hoboken, New Jersey. You got a second?
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. How can I help you?
Hey, so I've got a 2-bedroom condo that I've been wrestling with whether or not I should sell at this point. And your name came across, a couple different searches, and a friend of mine actually worked with you.
Hey, so Tom, most important is you've got to figure out if you should sell it or keep it.
Yeah, basically.
And you're probably running some type of rent analysis as well.
I'd like to take a look at what the rental market is and see if it cash flows on my place.
All right. So, hey, Tom, I'm walking into a closing, but I understand exactly what you're looking for. You need to understand, hey, should I exit out of the market now, or is it more valuable to hold it and rent it? What's the address over there, Tom?
93 Grand Street.
All right. 93 Grand Street. I'll start the analysis on my end this afternoon. Why don't we do this? I could come by tonight at 6 and start to share with you that analysis of what I've uncovered. I'll get to obviously see the property when I'm there at 6, and you and I can make adjustments together.
Okay.
Do you have time at 6, or would maybe 7:30 be better?
6 o'clock will be fine.
Great. I'll see you tonight at 6, Tom. I've got the property address here. Tom, this is your cell phone?
Yeah.
All right. I'll shoot you over a quick text as well with just a little bit of information before I come by. But I'll see you tonight at 6, and then you and I will adjust for any details in the rent or sell analysis that we've got.
Great. Thanks, Byron. See you then.
I'm just listening for, like, you told me right up front. I'm trying to figure out keep or sell. So then I'm just going to speak to, hey, I think as agents, a lot of times when we have a listing appointment in front of us, we almost get at times nervous about bringing up the rent word. I want to share that with them right off the bat, because the only goal on this call is to get face-to-face. Once I get face-to-face, then I can walk through, like, who's going to manage the property? Oh, you were going to self-manage it. Totally. Got it. Like, where are you going to next? If you're leaving this property, you're going into Upper East Side. You're going to manage a property in Hoboken. How are you going to battle through that traffic all day? The truth is, they don't want to manage a property. They should, exit out on that money. But I don't get those conversations over the phone. I get it face to face. Tom, is there an objection you want to throw at me there that might have happened?
No, I just, setting the appointment on the buyer side seemed, pretty much a layup. It was just figuring out how to quickly set that appointment on that quick call with the sell side. That was a little bit more like where I was getting stuck.
Yeah, they're usually going to give you the reason, kind of like you did. And then I'm going to just take that and use that in my response. Always listening, whatever they say, and bringing that back into the response and driving it into an appointment. We've gone through location and motivation. We're looking at set appointment. We're looking to find out what drew you to the area. Are there any other properties that you want to see? So we've done that. And now it's either We're going to set up a second call once we have, hey, once I've made sure that the seller hasn't filled this spot on home tour, I'm going to call you back, or we're going to handle it on the full call when we talk paperwork. Let's handle it on the full call, Emily.
Ring, ring, ring. Hi, this is Emily White. I'm a local agent with William Ravis and a premier partner of Zillow's. I see that you're interested in 123 Main Street. When would you like to go see it with me?
I'd like to see it today at 3.
Okay, today at 3 o'clock. Absolutely. Just a quick question for you, Byron. What specifically drew you to this home?
This is the first one we've seen that's got, fenced in yard. We've got dogs, everything else we'd have to put a fence up.
Fence in yard, absolutely. Okay. What other properties do you want to see while we're at 123 Main Street?
I haven't seen anything. I mean, most of the stuff on there is it's either too overpriced or doesn't work.
Okay, perfect. So we'll look to get into 123 Main Street later this afternoon around 3 p.m. And I will send you confirmation details right after our call. If I uncover any other properties for comparison that have that fenced in yard, would you be open to seeing them after?
I mean, if you can find one that, that's kind of set up like this one, we got to be, really within 15 minutes, I'd be open to it.
Okay, perfect. Byron, anticipate a text and an email coming from me shortly, which will confirm our property visits. I'll also send over a Connecticut disclosure form that explains agent-consumer relationship. There's no signature needed on that one. Along with it, I will include our buyer representation agreement for these properties. This form will need a quick e-signature from you, but if there's anything that's unclear to you, just give me a shout and I'll walk you right through it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, just send it over. I'll take a look.
Absolutely. All right, Byron, I'll be in touch shortly, and give me a shout if you need anything.
Emily, if I were to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to be able to look at your e-signatures. I'm at work. My computer blocks everything. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. What would you say?
I'd say no problem. I'll print and bring a hard copy of those. We'll review them at the property before we do our tours.
Perfect. What Emily did, instead of breaking it up into two calls, she did it all in one. She set the appointment. She talked about the location. She talked about my motivation. She's got a little bit more information about me before she meets. She didn't do a full buyer consultation. We're not going to be able to retain that. I called about a specific property. I want speed to that appointment as a customer anyways, but she knows I've got dogs. She knows what else to look for because she's going to try to set a second property tour. She got confirmation that I'm open to it. I'm hesitant about it because I haven't seen the property she's talking about. She doesn't even know what property she's talking about, but I'm open to seeing a second one. So we've got some agreement there that if she sends me one, yeah, I'd see a second one. And then she said, hey, and I don't know if your state does it or if your brokerage does it. The best way to enter into saying, hey, there's a buyer representation form is saying, hey, there's 2 forms coming over. One's a read only. You don't got to sign the thing. It just explains the relationship between agents and consumers. The second form is our agreement for these properties that we're going to be viewing. Hey guys, sorry to take you away from this video, but I want to invite you into the fastest growing real estate community on the planet. It's BAMX. We just moved over to the #1 training community platform, School. So just go to school.com/BAMX. I'll throw a link down here below in the description. It's school.com plain and simple. So if you don't have a disclosure like that, I would venture to guess that most boards right now do, because I've seen a bunch of them out throughout the country, where there's a disclosure or a 1-page form, no signature needed, just a form that explains the relationship between agents and consumers. You could make one of these up. You could use ChatGPT. Hey, I've just got a simple read-only form that just explains relationships between agents and consumers. That's only something you've got to read. Also, the next form, you'll need a quick e-signature for handling these couple of properties, and my representation and walks you through that. If you need me to walk you through it further, I'll be bringing hard copies to the property. And then you go from there on winning the business.